Ever have this happen to your Ford F-150? That's right, you walk out to it in a parking lot and the window seems like it's gone. You're wondering if somebody busted it out. Well, guess what? It probably isn't busted out. It probably just fell down in the track. That's right. I've had this happen on that side over there before. Now it's time to fix it on this side because the Ford engineers use plastic parts in these things and they're under high tension. We're going to fix this. We're not going to replace this. Most of the other videos out there, I think, show how to replace it. I'm going to show you how to fix it. It's going to cost you about 50 cents. Stick with me. Here are the tools you're going to need for this repair. Some tin snips, a container, 4 sockets. We have a 10 millimeter, a 6 millimeter, 7/32, and 5/16. Clamp, nice soft jawed clamp like this works really well. Some needle nose pliers, flat blade screwdriver. This is just for prying off a little cover. A putty knife. I like to use a, I don't know what you call this, a socket stick. That's what I'm going to call it. Socket stick and a socket wrench. So there we go. There's the tools that you'll need. Oh, the other thing you'll need is a little teeny piece of sheet metal about that big. We're going to start down here. These little guys are 6 millimeters. There's 2 of them. 1, 2. Push this little guy. And push this little guy. And that's out of our way. There's also a little screw down in here that we'll take out. This is where your putty knife comes in. Just kind of stick it back in there and just slowly work this off. It's plastic, so you don't want to break any of the clips here on the back, and I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. So there's several little clips and doodads back there. I don't know what you call those deals. Next thing we got to do is take the speaker out. Yeah, that's right. To get the door panel off, got to take the speaker out. 7/32. Yeah, our genius guys there at Ford, they like to keep things as simple as they could, you know. We'll do some in American Standard, we'll do some in metrics, and we'll do the rest in just some oddball thing, but we won't keep the same tools going. We'll just keep switching them up every time you turn from one piece to the next. Great. The speaker off. Trying to do this and show you guys at the same time. Just pinch that little guy. Off she comes. Set him over here. And now we have to turn our attention to these little guys in here. I hope you guys can see those. It's a little plastic cup. Those things have to come out in order for the door panel to come off. And here's one right here underneath this little rubber gasket piece. And you can see this one over here is missing. Because generally when you take these out, you break one of them. So I'm going to have you follow along. I've taken this door panel off a few times because I had to replace the outside mirror on it. These things are not easy to get off, but this is how you do it. There we go. There's one. I think I do have a replacement. So yeah, before you do this project, go to your Ford dealer and get a few of these because you'll need them. I'm sure of that. We should be able to just lift this sucker off. And there it goes. That simple. We got our little door handle here. We're on the back side here. Now that the panel's off, we got to remove this little thing so that our handle will come through. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Usually I have 2 hands. There we go. So we'll twist that out and set our panel down. Now the next thing you're going to see is 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. we are going to take out these 4 bolts. You can see my glass is down in here unharmed. We'll take those 4 bolts out and then we'll get the glass out. Back from standards to millimeters again. This one here is a 10 millimeter, or I guess all 4 of these are 10 millimeters. We're just going to loosen them up. I lifted the glass just a bit, and the idea is these little bolts right here that connect the glass to the regulator, you got to take those off so you can get the glass loose. We've got one on this side too, so I just put a little clamp there. 10 millimeter. Window all the way up, put your clamp on, and Ford gave us a nice little access hole right here for the second bolt. Almost forgot about that one right there. That's the magic one right in the middle. This one's got to come all the way out. Okay, with that last bolt out of the way, we should be able to just slide this up and out. Then we'll take our other one, slide it up and out. And this whole contraption should come out slowly but surely through this little opening. And we got to take off our little motor connector here. Squeeze both sides of that. There we go. And voila. Now we'll have to find out what's broken. Okay, we've got our regulator laid out here. Every one of these that I've seen broken has had the same problem. One of the cables pulls out. So if you have this happen and, you know, when the window's coming down and you see it and you try and roll it back up, what it'll do is it will suck this little cable back to here, and the way this rolls and unrolls, you have to keep everything nice and even. So the way to deal with that is you can plug this in, and you take a pair of needle nose pliers on this cable and you just pull it real hard while someone else operates the switch, so that you don't get screwed up there where it coils. And so I had my wife do that for me. That was awfully nice of her. And so basically, when you do that, you also have to remember to plug back in your controls for the passenger side, or it won't work. So anyway, what we're going to do is this little piece, just nice and slow like that, comes off, and we can see where we broke right here. So we're going to repair that piece. I cut a piece of sheet metal so it folds around both sides here. And the idea is that we can get it to stick down into our piece here, and then we're going to fold it back. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's going to take both my hands and a lot of concentration to get this to happen. So I'll show you here in just a sec. So there's what she looks like, all packed in there. I know that's not perfect, but you know, you pull on these things, and if they don't pop out, I've got it bent around the back side there too. So that's kind of the key, is that you just get it bent around in there so that there's no possible way that thing can come back out. There it is, all smashed in, and so we got to connect our other one up here. I'm going to pull that across. This is actually the hardest part of the entire job for sure, is getting these things relocated to their homes. So let's see if we can do this real quick. There we go. Now we're back in. Whew, that's it. Sorry that took me a little longer than I wanted it to, but you can see our little metal poking up through there. We got a little metal on the bottom. It'll be just fine. These will scoot. We'll reinstall this and be done. The installation, of course, is the exact reverse of how we took everything out. So we'll just and our finished product. There we go. Glad you could join me. Hopefully you can fix your Ford window regulator for little of nothing, just like I did, and save a few $100. In the meantime, don't let your meatloaf.